Good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Today, Casey and I are going to talk about accountability and how this relates to our health and improving our health. But before we get started, we'll just quickly introduce ourselves for those of you who are new to us. I'm Jessica Melnick. I am the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method, the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions Group, and I help people with various forms of arthritis ditch their joint pain and fatigue so that you can get back to living your life the way that you choose to, not the way that you have to. And Casey, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, I am Casey Kephart. I am a functional medicine nutritionist. I am the founder of the Feel Good Formula. I work with women with all different types of autoimmune diseases to get back to the activities you love and have your autoimmune disease stop controlling your life. And I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the sun always shines.
Yes, you do. And it is definitely not shining in Saskatchewan today. It is snowing and windy. But fingers crossed, the sun is supposed to come out tomorrow. For real. Like Annie says. So I have hope.
Right? We'll be talking about sunshine today too, of course. I feel like we should intermit sunshine into every single live that we do because it's so important.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
not today, on Thursday. On Thursday, we will be talking a little bit about sunshine, but maybe for accountability, we can squeeze it in somewhere.
Yeah. So basically, what we're talking about in terms of what we mean by accountability, I'm going to give you the definition and another kind of example of what we mean by accountability. So the definition is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. And another way of describing accountability and how we look at it as well is having structures and methods in place to hold ourselves responsible for what we want to achieve. So we're going to give some examples of how we stay accountable to ourselves so that we are able to keep on top of our health and also just the things that we want to achieve in life. Whether that's short-term goals, long-term goals in terms of the work we do, even it can come down to the types of relationships that we want to have. So it really, it can apply to any area of our lives where we need to be accountable. So some examples of how I stay accountable for my health is I do weekly meal planning and prepping. So I use a calendar to actually make this make it an appointment to prep my meals and plan my meals for the week. I do the same thing for exercise. So I find that unless I plan it and I put it in my calendar, it's not going to happen. I know we all have busy lives and big, long to-do lists and a whole bunch of things going on in our day, whether it's, we're working, we're running kids to various activities at the end of the day, sometimes even before our day gets started. We have so many different things going on. So I literally make to-do lists and I apply them to my calendar and figure out where and what days and at what point of my week I'm going to do what. So also having daily routines like journaling in the morning, planning my day to reevaluate, and also, sorry, I'm going to go back to planning my day. This one is huge because I would literally forget my head if it wasn't attached most of the time, especially when I'm busy. And I think that a lot of you can probably relate to that. And I know that for a lot of us, if it's not written down or it's not scheduled in a calendar, we often forget or we just run out of time or something else comes up that takes that time. So planning ahead. And then I also like to look at my calendar and my day timer and reevaluate how my days or how my weeks is going and look to see, am I actually on track with what I want to achieve? I look at what went well or what do I need to actually change or what do I need to improve? What hasn't gotten done yet? And then prioritize those tasks. So I also have accountability partners to help me stay on track and also for support. So I have these accountability partners within my business. Casey is one of them. I also have accountability partners in my life. So things like going to a therapist, having positive friends and family to talk to, and to share my goals and where I'm at in terms of those goals with them. Now, you're not going to pick just anybody for this, though. You want somebody who's actually going to give you positive feedback and who's rooting for you, but is also going to say, well, why didn't you get that done last week? And
Mhm.
like keep you on track. So somebody who's loving, but also calls you on your BS too sometimes when you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I agree fully. I like all of those. I'm also a huge calendar person, and I don't feel like I would live without my calendar. And it's funny, my mom and I have our calendars linked up, so like we know what each other has going on and can keep each other, not necessarily keep each other accountable, but it's how we schedule our days or our walks with each other. It's funny, actually. And with previous like partners, I have shared my calendar with them so they know what's going on and keep me accountable and ask about it. So if you're not a calendar person, I feel like if you learn to be a calendar person, you will love being a calendar person. But I think it's really a type A sort of thing. Um, but so in terms of accountability and how I keep myself accountable, is my calendar. So how I do this is I'll schedule walks with my friends in my calendars, either my girlfriend down the street or my mom who also lives down the street. I'll schedule it, and that's how I keep myself accountable to them, but to also myself to get out during the day and get some movement in. If it's not in my calendar, it is so easy for me to just say like, one more hour to work on my business, one more hour to work on work, one more hour to do this, and then you don't feel like it anymore. Then your plans start for to go out or whatever. So I need to put that in my calendar. Also tasks or reminders, like say I need to pay a bill. How I hold myself accountable to that is I'll make an alarm on my calendar so it pings me at, let's say, 9 a.m. when I set it for. Um, that's probably my calendar reminder right now.
It's such a pleasant sound.
Right? Um, so I make sure that I have it in my calendar in front of me and pinging me all at the same time. Structure is my forte, and it's just how I thrive off of life. But also sticky notes really help me. So like right in front of me, I have a sticky note, and this one is just of an affirmation that I put to keep myself accountable to my goals. So I'll put sticky notes around me or on my laptop just so I can see it and I can be held accountable to getting that done and to staying on track. And they're mostly quotes. I really like that to keep me accountable and to keep me going. Accountability groups. So Jessica and I found each other in a business accountability group, and that's how we got together. But also we keep each other accountable now because of that group, and just being a part of that group, even though it's with women or men that we didn't know. It's like, oh, well, that person's doing something really great with the same tools I have. What can I do to be at that level? Good quotes, good positive vibes. So being in an accountability group, whether it's Facebook, at a coffee shop, on the phone, a book club, whatever it is, I think they're really, really powerful. Even if you just are that person in the back of the class, just listening, you can still really get something out of it. Also telling my friends, my family, my partner, what my goals are, what I need help with, or what they need, not need to do, but can do to help me. And that would help me stay on track too. Just getting your goal out there, getting what you need to do out there can help you do it even more because you don't want to let yourself down, but you don't want to let those other people down too. You don't want to have to go home and be like, well, I didn't accomplish what I said I was going to do. And it's a little extra push. And then the other things like eating and drinking well, so I can feel good to get my goals done, to keep myself accountable, to follow through on my calendar reminders, etc. Getting enough sleep so I can again follow through on everything that I want to, and make sure I'm surrounding myself with really positive people instead of the negative people who are just critiquing or bringing my energy down. Which again, that does not make you the highest person you can be to keep yourself accountable and to achieve your goals. So that's me.
Awesome. So, a couple other examples of accountability are being able to see your goal every day. So, keeping it front and foremost. So, like for example, I used to put my workout clothes right next to my bed so that as soon as I woke up in the morning, I just put them on. And it was like,
Mhm.
this is going to happen in the next little while, even though I'm still half sleeping at this moment. So, another really amazing thing is to the whole visualization thing. And I know for me, it kind of
Mhm.
sounded pretty hokey at the beginning, but taking time to actually imagine like what your healthy self looks like, what your ideal self looks like. What are you going to be doing differently, when your health has improved? And why are you doing this in the first place? How is your life going to improve? And being able to journal about that first thing in the morning, it reinforces why you're doing what you're doing so that when you do have to do some of these tasks in order to like get healthier, that you don't really want to do, you have this vision of yourself and why you're doing this in the first place. So it helps you keep on
Mhm.
that way so that you're not just throwing in the towel the second that you get uncomfortable, because you will get uncomfortable and you will want to stop at times, and that's completely normal.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean you're lazy or that you don't have willpower. It just means that you're human and you're just
Mhm.
have to process those feelings, accept that that's how you feel at that moment, and pick yourself back up and get back going. And you're gonna feel so much better when you do that, because you're gonna give yourself more confidence in yourself and know that you can do difficult things, and
Mhm.
you can feel really proud of yourself.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I like just putting on your workout clothes right when you get up, or whatever that is for you, or putting your Sudoku journal right next to you so you get your brain going. Whatever it is, making sure that it's close and right in front of you so you remember and feel motivated to do it is important.
Mhm.
Another way is writing down and preparing for the next day. So I feel like when we're lacking accountability, we lack structure. I know myself and Jessica are very structured people, and we thrive off of it, and we work, we do what we need to do because we are structured. And when you don't have a plan moving forward, it's hard to keep yourself accountable to what you want to get done because you don't have a clear vision of how to do it.
Yeah.
So, what's helped Jessica, what's helped myself and other people is just writing down what you need to do for the next day so you feel prepared and ready. If you have a meeting 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, look over your notes tonight. Or if you know that you need, you're going to be on the run for lunchtime, you can pack your lunch that night, or you can wake up 30 minutes early and pack your lunch. I mean, this way you're not scrambling and just like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. It wastes a lot of brain energy that you can be using on something else or relaxing with. And so just having your ducks in a row basically can really help.
Yeah, and I know Casey is much younger and cooler than I am, so she doesn't do this, but this is my version. So I have a written day timer. This is tomorrow already. So this is my main things I need to do tomorrow. I will add to this, but I have this done ahead of time because I need to know what I'm doing like each day of the week so that I don't forget,
Mhm.
and also so that I can structure everything else around that too. So even today, look at this. I wrote yoga because I need to do it to keep myself sane.
Yep.
So it's in there. All the important things are in there. And
Yep.
yeah, you have to write those things in there. If it's important to you, if you have a reason to achieve it, you need to put it in there, or else there's a million other things that just pull us off track.
Yeah. I was talking to a girlfriend the other day on Sunday, and she's really into like self development, and she's a behavioral analyst, pretty cool. And she said that if you structure your day, if you fill in your day with all of the positive things that you need to do or want to do, it doesn't make room for any of the negatives. So it pushes out the negative things that you're doing. And I know we're getting a little off track, but it goes to like structuring your day with the things you want and you need to do that are getting you closer to who you want to be and where you want to be. And then that pushes out all of the busy non-work that you need to do, like the social media or I don't know, talking to your in-law on the phone that you don't need to do and everything else. So structuring your day with whatever that means to you can really help organize and get things done and keep it.
Absolutely. Another thing too, I always stress this one, I know we mentioned it already, is asking for help. So, asking our friends, our partner, our family what we need help with and how that they can help us. So the people closest to us. And I know like for myself, there's like, I don't know why. I think because I was raised as a woman in our traditional patriarchal culture.
I was raised as a woman.
I was raised as a woman in this patriarchal culture. And because of my gender and I think the cultural expectations of what is kind of expected as a role, I've just automatically assumed that I was in charge of doing like most of the cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, all that within my home. And I have since learned that that's not true. Who says that's true?
Right.
And I have a partner who reminds me of that he is also responsible, just as responsible for the cooking, cleaning, food prep, grocery shopping, and all the other things that happen in and around our home. So asking for help, because I know sometimes I catch myself, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I have all these other things to do, but the bathroom needs to get cleaned and such needs to get cooked and whatever else needs to be washed. And someone's like, oh yes, I have a partner who I can ask for help. I don't have to do all of this on my own. That is huge. And yes, ask for help and just remind yourself that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do it all.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you don't have a partner or live alone with two cats. I mean, my mom would be more than happy to walk her butt over here and help me batch cook and to clean and to do all of that. So I'm sure everybody has someone in their life that wants to help you, that you aren't begging. People want to be needed, and asking for help is a way to help them feel needed too, if you want to think about it that way. I know that I feel really needed when my friends ask me for help or ask for my opinion. It's not a hassle unless you're asking me every day to take out your trash for you. I mean, there's boundaries, definitely, but we all need help. Another form would be alarms, and we've already really talked about alarms just between Jessica and our structure. So set an alarm if that works for you. But another one would be any forms of community that are like-minded people and have the same goal. So when you surround yourself with those types of people, you're going to be more proactive, you're going to be more hopeful, you're going to be more energized, and you're going to want to stay accountable to yourself so you can share those wins with these people, and so you can be a part of this group or feel like you're contributing, or whatever sparks inside of you is great, but you don't. What am I trying to say, Casey? It's like something gets ignited in you when you hang around these people. And it's a good feeling, and you kind of want to up level yourself so you're not dragging everybody else with you. I know that's a horrible sounding reasoning, but
no, but I think it's part of that, feeding off of each other's positive energy and also being able to help each other, and it feels good to help other people, and it feels good to also learn from other people. And when we have those communities, we can all we can all kind of we all feed off that positive energy, and we can all like help each other and learn from each other. So sometimes we might think, well, what do I have to offer? But being able to share our experience is super valuable and can really help somebody else who's like, oh my gosh, me too. And then someone else could be like, yeah, I remember when I used to feel that way. This is what I did. So there's so much to be learned and shared in those communities.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
Yeah. And lastly, what another idea we had is having a reward system for yourself. So, if you are having to do some things that aren't your favorite, that are also part of reaching your goal, setting aside some time to reward yourself, whether that's maybe, purchasing something that you really like maybe a new top or a new pair of leggings or something, if that's your thing. Or for myself, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, at such and such a time, I'm going to sit down and watch half an hour of Bridgerton. Like that's my reward. It's going to be my little break in the middle of the day while I have my lunch, something like that, just to kind of keep me going. So that's like, yes, I might do something right now that's not my favorite, but in a little while, I get to enjoy something.
I like that. You're brave for watching a TV show in the middle of the day, because I do not stop. If I start, there is no turning it off. There is no productivity after that. So that is my boundary to keeping myself accountable, is do not watch TV during the day, especially if it's one of my favorite shows.
Hey, to each their own, right?
Right, exactly. And we all work in different ways, and we all keep ourselves accountable in different ways. So there's a prime example of it.
Mm-hmm.
So why keep ourselves accountable? Why not just go with the flow every day, do what comes to us, and have no structure? Well, I failed that way, and I would assume that 90% of other people have failed just going with the flow and not really planning. So, some benefits you can get out of doing what we just talked about, whatever works for you, there's no one correct method. Um, is you're able to accomplish your goals. You're able to stay on track. You feel like you have more of a clear path or journey that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good feeling. I know I really love a clear path.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, just that reassurance that knowing we're on the right track and
Mm-hmm.
not doing it alone, feeling that we're a part of something bigger than us, when it comes to being part of a community that's doing the same thing and has the same goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you actually complete your goals or even along the way, you have someone to celebrate that with, which is super
Mm-hmm.
fun because not everybody has that same goal. So maybe we don't even have somebody who's close to us that is working towards like getting rid of their joint pain or their fatigue or, getting rid of their autoimmune symptoms. So when we have a community of people we belong to that is experiencing and working on those same things, it's really exciting because they get it,
Yeah.
they get where we're coming from.
Yeah, exactly. It also raises our confidence in ourselves. So when we start keeping ourselves accountable, which means we start accomplishing things, um, we we build the confidence that we can do hard things, that we can do what we set out to do, and that leads to bigger goals, to bigger accomplishments, to bigger financial gains, business gains, kid gains, whatever gains you want, muscle gains.
Absolutely. And like you said, it makes our goals come to life. So we have a witness. We have somebody witnessing our goals. I know you, Casey, you like that statement, a tree didn't fall if you didn't hear it.
Right.
Like it's having that person to share it with, having someone witness what we've accomplished. It's just
Yeah.
different than just doing it on our own, right?
Exactly. So I'm sure all of you have done something to help keep yourself accountable. It's something normal that we do. We are organisms who love a goal, and to achieve a goal, we need accountability. So if you're listening or listening on the replay, just comment below and tell us what works for you for accountability, or what new accountability you want to try just from listening to that list. We'd love to hear it. Um, so, why is it important to learn your style of accountability to achieve your goals? So, you, like I just said, you need accountability to achieve goals and to achieve, work goals, personal goals, household responsibilities, to keep up with that cleaning the toilet that nobody wants to do. You need to be held accountable too. To be accountable to your relationships or your partner. Say your partner says they need more from you in this aspect. You need to keep yourself accountable to that, to make that happen, to make that relationship work. So Jessica, you had a really good line yesterday when we were planning this about um, the example of how do you keep yourself accountable to work and everything like that. Do you want to say that?
Absolutely, because holding ourselves accountable for our goals in terms of our health is just as important as the other goals that help us get through life that are necessities. I think it's just looking at it from a different perspective. So, for example, like if you're like, oh, how do I stay accountable for my health? And, I start like with a new way of eating and then I always fall off track and like, fall off plan. And then sometimes I just don't get back on.
Mhm.
But when you think about it, well, what other areas of your life have you been accountable and how did you make that happen? So, for example, like how do you get yourself to work on time every day and actually do the work that's assigned to you? How do you get your kids to school and to their activities on a daily basis? How did you get your degree? Like
Yeah.
with all these different things that you accomplish that have been like larger things and something you just do every day because it's necessity, and you're responsible for it. Your health goals are just as important and they're achieved in exactly the same way. So, when it
Mhm.
comes to your style of accountability, look at how is it that you do all these other things in your life and how do you make sure that you achieve these goals on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, etc.
Yeah. And just to play devil's advocate, because I'm thinking about all of my clients that I worked with accountability and them saying, well, I just do it. I just do it. Well, I guarantee you, yes, you're just doing it, but you have that reprimand in your mind or you have that future end result in your mind that's making you do it. And that's accountability right there. Future thinking is accountability. So if you don't get to work on time, you're going to get fired, right? If you don't get your kids to school on time, you're going to be sitting in the principal's office. If you don't do the X, Y, and Z, this is going to happen. That's a that's a form of accountability. It's a negative accountability form, but if that's what gets your butt up to go do it, it works, right?
Mhm.
So think about that and don't just say I just do it. You don't just do it. There is something more behind just do it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Exactly. And too, even like working towards like positive goals, like, let's say you're getting a degree or a trade or a diploma in something, you wanted that and it wasn't always easy to get that you had to work
Mhm.
hard for it, but you knew that the end result was going to be like, I'm going to get a decent job after this and I'm going to be able to do something that I enjoy. So,
Yeah.
you had that positivity as a reward at the end of it once you got there that you were working towards, and your health goals are no different. So,
Mhm.
what is it that you want in terms of your health? Well,
Yeah.
you can get that. And there's going to be some things along the way that you are going to enjoy and some things that you're not going to enjoy. But you
Yeah.
have to look at it. It's like, how am I going to get my health degree? you know?
Right. Right. I agree. And so just to wrap this all up, Jessica and I are huge, huge condoners of accountability. And in our programs, we have accountability groups. So we both have live coaching sessions each week. And we both have a Facebook community group that we answer your questions in, that, other people are chiming in with tips, opinions, struggles. So we have lots of forms of accountability, and it's everybody with the same goal. They all have autoimmune disease, either any type in my group or RA, arthritis forms in Jessica's, and you feel more belonged. Is that a word? You feel more belonging. I'm having trouble with the words today. Um, and you help each other feel supported, and we're there guiding that and making sure that we all do feel that community, because it is so important to stay on track. And we know that more than likely we fail with our goals if we don't have somebody kind of looking over our shoulder asking how we're doing, or we feel connected. So we want to provide that, and we do provide that.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to connect with other people
Mhm.
who are working towards the same things, and it's fun to be inspired by each other and to help each other out. It's really exhilarating,
Mhm.
to hear about somebody else's improvements in terms of their health, and also to be able to offer our knowledge and our wisdom and our experiences to those other members of the group, and that helps them. So it's just so beneficial and positive and motivating all around.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, accountability is necessary to move us forward, and also it's a key component of reaching our health goals or any goal. So let us know, like Casey said in the comments, how you keep yourself accountable, what works for you. And I
Mhm.
know other people would love to hear any of your tips and tricks or strategies, as would we. So
Yeah.
yes, comment below with what you do to keep yourself accountable. And we're going to be back on Thursday at our usual
Mhm.
time talking all about stress and what the heck can we do about it.
Yeah. Perfect. All
Awesome.
right. See you Thursday.
Take care, guys.